episode of Cooking with Mickey. Today we're going to be making potato leek soup with Irish cheddar cheese crisps from the Ireland booth at Epcot's Food and Wine Festival. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by mincing 2 cloves of garlic. The easiest way to do this is to just smash both cloves. It gets the skin come off so much easier. Okay, now that we have our garlic minced, we're going to go ahead and set that aside. Next, we're going to thinly slice our russet potatoes. Recipe calls for 1 pound. In order to get these uniform, I'm going to be using a mandolin. Mandolin gives your potatoes a nice, consistent form. It'll be nice and thin and all even. That way they'll all cook consistently. You won't have some potatoes that are cooked and some that aren't. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is slice our leeks. We're only going to be using the white part, so we're going to go ahead and chop off the green. Next, we're going to clean the leeks. In order to do that, we have to cut these in half. Leeks are a member of the onion family, so they grow very similarly to onions, and they get a lot of dirt stuck inside. So you have to cut them in half and then rinse them out in order to get all that dirt out. Now, leeks are much more delicate and mild than an onion or garlic. Has a little bit more of a sweet type flavor to it. Next, we're going to thinly slice these. Okay, now we can go ahead and start making our soup. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter into a saucepan that's been preheated on medium. Once our butter is melted, we can go ahead and add our leeks, our garlic, and our potatoes. We're going to let this go ahead and cook until it's nice and tender, about 8 or 10 minutes. Okay, now that our vegetables are nice and tender, we're going to go ahead and add in 4 cups of vegetable stock. Now, you could use chicken stock or something like that if you would like a little more flavor, or you could leave it this way and it'll be a great vegetarian dish. And we're going to bring this to a boil, and once it's brought to a boil, we're going to reduce the heat to a simmer and let it cook for another 5 minutes. While our soup is cooking, we're going to go ahead and start making our cheddar cheese crisps. We're going to start off with some puff pastry. I've taken a sheet, it's been thawed, and then I've cut it in half so that it is now 8 by 6. I'm going to brush it with some water. Then I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle our 1/2 cup of Kerrygold Irish cheddar on top. Now, if you can't find Kerrygold, you could use any other kind of white cheddar. Now, the Kerrygold I did find in the deli section of my grocery store. Okay. Now we're going to cut these into 3-inch by 1/2-inch strips. Once we have all these cut, we're going to go ahead and put them on our baking sheet, and then we're going to put it in an oven that's already been preheated to 400 degrees. Okay, now we're going to add in our 1 cup of heavy cream. Or stir this in, and then we're going to let this cook for another 10 minutes, or until the vegetables are nice and tender. Now that our oven is ready, we're going to go ahead and put in our cheddar cheese crisps. They're going to bake for about 10 minutes or until golden brown. Now we're going to go ahead and take our crisps out. Go ahead and let those cool. Now that our soup is completely cooked, we're going to go ahead and salt and pepper to taste. Now if you don't like russet potatoes, or you can't find the russet potatoes, you can always use another kind of potato. A little more salt. Now that we have this seasoned just the way we like it, we're going to go ahead and remove it from the heat and let it cool. Once it's cooled, we're going to go ahead and blend it at that point. Now that our soup is cooled, we're going to go ahead and blend it. We're just going to ladle it in small batches. Blend this till it's nice and smooth. Okay, so our soup can be served either hot or cold. I actually prefer my soups hot, so I'm going to have this hot. We're going to garnish it with a little bit of chives, a little sprinkle of nutmeg, and our Irish cheddar cheese crisps. Okay, so let's give our potato leek soup a try. It's really good. Very hearty, rich, creamy. It would definitely be great in the middle of winter as a nice warm soup to have. Let's try our cheese crisp. Those are good. I love puff pastry. This would be a great dish to have for St. Patrick's Day. And with that, I would drink something like a Guinness or another Irish beer. Well, for this recipe and others, please visit srsounds.com and go to the message boards. Till next time, I'm Kristen, this is Mickey, and we'll see you real soon.